here from Cocktail of Card. Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous Easter treat bag. It's just the right size to fit this Milkybar chocolate cow in, which is very lucky it's lasted as long as it has. Might not make it to Easter. He just sits beautifully in there. And it's really easy to make, so I'll get on and show you. I've used Melon Mambo card and the Gingham Garden Designer Series paper pack again. I used that in my Easter cracker box a couple of days ago. I just think it's gorgeous at the moment. So there's a few things you're going to need to do in preparation. I've used the Labels Collection framelets and I've cut 2 of the Designer Series paper and I've cut 2 in Melon Mambo cardstock. Now the Melon Mambo cardstock is cut using the largest of the Labels Collection framelets, and then the Designer Series paper is cut using the next one down from the largest so that they sit nicely inside each other. Put that to one side. I've also got a piece of Melon Mambo card which I've just left the full length of an A4 sheet, and then it's 1 inch the width of that, and that's going to be used to do the handle. And then I've got another piece of of Melon Mambo cardstock here, and I've cut this at 4 1/4 inches by 11 1/4 inches. And we're going to start with this to make the box in the centre of the bag. Get my scoreboard, bring that in. Okay, so I've got the long 11 1/4 inch length in at the moment that I'm going to score along. I'm going to score at 4 inches. I'm going to score at 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to score at 9 1/2 inches. And I'm going to score at 11 inches, just to leave a little tab at the end there to fix it all together. Okay, so I've turned that round now and I've got the shorter 4 1/4 inch length at the top. And I'm now going to score that at 1 inch all the way down. Scoreboard out of the way. Just going to get my bone folder and I'm going to fold all of those creases so they're nice and sharp. I've got an extra crease in there which I just put in by accident, so just ignore that one there. Okay, so I've put all those creases in and I'm going to get my paper snips. And right at the end here, we've got a tiny little rectangle there, which I'm just going to cut out. And then the other ones along the bottom here, I'm just going to snip up to the first score line going the other way and just take a little bit out of the corners like that, just to make it a little bit nicer when I come to glue it together. Like that. Okay, then you've got the basis for your bag. I'm just going to get my Tombow glue and put some along the bottom of there. Glue that together. Oh, not quite stuck there. There we go, I'm just going to glue the bottom here. I'm going to glue on both of these tabs. Close that down. I'm just going to see how much overlap I've got and I'm going to put some glue along there as well. Right, I'm just going to flip that over and just make sure that it's all nice and square. Excuse me, sticking my head in shot then. Just use my bone folder to push it down and make sure that all that glue is properly caught. Yeah. There we go, that's fantastic there. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, using the Melon Mambo pieces that we cut out using the big shot and the framelets, I'm just going to bring my scoreboard in again. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is just score along the bottom here. So I score just where this curve meets here. So I'm going to score there. If you can see, I've got a line on my scoreboard that I've coloured in using a black Sharpie pen. It just helps me line things up because there's so many score lines on here that sometimes if you're trying to line something up, not by measurement but just by where it needs to be, you can't quite know which one to match it up with. So I can see that that lines up, and I'm just going to score along there like that, and I'm going to do the same on the other one. Line it up again with this black mark with the black line, and then I know my score line is going to be in exactly the right place. And there we go. Take that scoreboard out again. Make sure that that's properly creased, and do the same with the other one. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to put those to one side for a minute. Now what we're going to want to do with these ones, instead of scoring them, we're going to want to cut them at that point. So I'll just bring my trimmer in. Now what I'm doing here is, instead of lining it up with the black line on the scoreboard, I'm just going to line the same point up with the groove, hope you can see that, in the cutting track on here. So I've just made sure that that's lined up both sides there. Oh, just moved it slightly. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut that bottom bit off. If you can see there, I've just cut it off nice and straight. And do the same with the other one. Line it up with that groove in the track again. And chop that off. Move the trimmer out of the way. Now hopefully you can see that that will now sit beautifully when we've put it together. I'm actually going to stick those on now before I put it on the box. Using my Tombow again, you could use snail or sticky strip here. Line that up nicely. Do the same with the second one. And you can take a bit more time when you're doing it to make sure you've got the glue even and it's all nicely lined up. But you don't want to sit and watch me lining things up perfectly. Okay, so we're going to move on to the decoration on the front now. I've used my favourite punches at the moment, which is the Petite Petals punch and the Flower Shop punch, Pansy punch, sorry, in the Flower Shop bundle. So you need a scrap of Melon Mambo card, and then I've used some Daffodil Delight as well. So we'll get those in. Right, where's my pansy? There's my pansy punch. Right, so I'm going to punch one with the pansy punch. Then I need 2 Melon Mambo, oops, with the Petite Petals, and one there, and then I'm going to use the tiny little punch from the Itty Bitty Shapes pack, and I'm going to cut 2 from the Daffodil Delight and 1 from the Melon Mambo. Okay, so we're going to put these together. I'm just going to use my bone folder just to curl, just gently curl the petals on this large one, just to give that a bit of shape, and then just move it a little bit, and then I'm going to get my piercing mat and I'm going to just use my scoring tool just to gently work that round. Just brings those petals up. I hope you can see it, it just makes those petals a little bit individual as well. And just brings that up like that, which is beautiful, which will go in the middle of there. And then the Melon Mambo, bring that up, and it makes all those little edge bits look like petals. It's beautiful. Right, I'm going to quickly do the same with these others. go, they're all ready to put together. Okay, so the other thing that we need just to finish that off at the front is we need the Happy Easter greeting. So I've got a scrap of Whisper White there and my Melon Mambo ink pad. Now the stamp that I'm using for that is the Happy Easter stamp from a stamp set called Teeny Tiny Sentiments. So it's a fantastic stamp set because it has got something for all occasions. It's got, I think it's 28 stamps in it, and it's got Happy Retirement, Merry Christmas, Good Luck, Thank You, Happy Easter. Punch that out using the word window, which all of the stamps from that stamp set fit into the word window, so it's just absolutely fantastic for doing cards. Now I'm going to use my scrap of Melon Mambo again, and I'm going to use the modern label punch, if I can just find it, which fits beautifully with the word window. Stamping Up are brilliant at that, making sure that everything matches and making your job really easy. So I'm just going to take a bit of glue of my Tombow and stick that greeting together like that. Sorry if I got my head in shot then. And then we're all ready to go and put it all together. Put my ink pad away and bring this piece in here. Okay, so we're going to build the flower up. Just using my Tombow to build the layers up on here. Beauty of using Tombow is you've just got a little bit of time just to move it around and make sure you've got it exactly where you need it. I'm going to add these ones in there. Again, you can take a little bit more time than me just to make sure that these are all lined up beautifully. I'm just trying to get it done so you can see how to put it all together. Then I've got my rhinestone jewels. Hopefully, usually whenever I try and do this on camera, they flick everywhere. Again, you can take a little bit more time than me to make sure you get them in the middle of these flowers. Oh, that one almost flipped. And then one of the slightly larger ones, I think, in the middle of that flower. Okay, a little bit of Tombow on the back of the greeting. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to bring my box back in now. Okay, so I'm going to put some Tombow onto this little bottom flap here, and I'm also going to put Tombow on one side of my box. Okay, stand, make sure I've lined it up centrally. Use my bone folder again just to make sure that that's all nicely pushed down. I'm just going to lie my box down like that. Bone folder in again just to make sure that all that glue is nicely caught onto that side, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Just need to push that down a bit more, make sure that's properly stuck. You can take a bit more time doing this than I am. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the other. Some glue on that bottom flap. Glue all over the other side of the box. Then I'm going to make sure that those are lined up beautifully. Just down. Whoop! Didn't quite push down. Leave that long enough for it to catch. Push the box down. Again, you can take a little bit longer doing this, just to make sure it's all nicely glued. Then you can see we're just about there now. We just need to put our handle on. So a bit of glue on each end of the handle like that. And just hold it for a couple of seconds to make sure that catches. We're folding it around and catching the other side. And there you have your Easter treat bag. Just the right size for your Milkybar cow. Hope you enjoyed that. As always, the details are down at the bottom of the screen. Please hop on over to my blog or my Facebook page if you've got any questions, or hop over to my shop if you want to buy any of the products that I've mentioned today. Okay, see you soon. Bye.